Welcome back, Hand-Ack and Satchel viewers, this time to fishing stereotypes. Number 1, Grandpappy. He's the guy who thinks a stick with a bobber, a weight, and a hook is enough to just go out there and spend a full day fishing. He will happily spend the whole day just holding this thing and plopping it in the water. And who's to tell him he's wrong? Number 2, we have Mr. Let me buy every single thing the fishing aisle has. Because if I don't, how will I possibly get every fish? I mean, this is completely necessary. I don't even know what it does, but it's needed. We may only be going to a creek, but 67 hooks, I probably will need more, most likely. At number 3, we have the one who enjoys luxury. Let's see, what do I need? Going on a fishing trip, well, I definitely need my thermos. A nice wireless speaker would be helpful. Oh, I can't forget that blanket. Oh, that new Netflix series. Gonna need something to watch that on. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting something else. Oh yeah, my fishing rod. Next, we have the ultralight guy. The guy who thinks, what do you need a giant tackle box for? No need for that. Just use this one piece of plastic. That'll cover everything you need. He also uses the absolute flimsiest rod imaginable and the tiniest little lures imaginable. Oh, and let's not forget, the max he would ever consider would be 2-pound mono. Because, I mean, if you actually have a chance at catching the fish, what point would there really be? Next up, we have the bow fisherman. Their telltale sign is when you ask them if they want to go fishing, they'll say, sure, can I just bring my bow? You're like, that's kind of odd, but sure. And when they get there, they don't have a fishing rod. Instead, they just bring their bow and start shooting into the water. That's a bow fisherman. Next in line in the stereotypes is the bass-only guy. The guy who pretty much has only ever used a worm to catch fish and insists that you need a 7-foot medium fast rod and backs it up by saying he has the 50-pound braid, 1 pack of worms, another pack of worms, and occasionally, as a last resort, he'll use a spinnerbait. The thing that makes him the real deal, that you can always tell if he's real, is when he has on his hooks a picture of a bass. That makes him official, and he will remind you of that many times. The ultimate sign of defeat for a fisherman is the, after sitting many hours, you know what, this was pointless, there's no fish in this lake anyway, what's the point? Perhaps the most annoying being, you're just sitting there fishing at your spot, someone else walks up and says, hey, you catch anything? You said, yes, actually. They ask where? You say, right here. They're like, okay, sounds great. And you're just like, oh, there's actually a spot right over there that you might catch something off of. They're like, nope, I think right here is great. They then proceed to cast directly over you, tangle up all your line, and make your fishing day awful. It's very upsetting. The other thing is, as I just demonstrated, the one who comes up and says, hey, you catch anything yet? And you're like, no, be quiet, I'm trying to fish. The fish can hear you. Amateurs. Next, we have the fish by the book. These are the guys who, after looking at a diagram, tell fellow fishermen who are fishing for bass with a spoon, saying, no, obviously only salmon and trout can be caught with spoons. Bass, I don't see a spoon on the bass section. It's impossible. You may as well give up. Next, we have the no trespassing guy. The guy who sees when you say no fishing, then adds this on. Unacceptable. You gotta read the signs, guy. And more importantly, you have to obey the signs. Those are the law. This next one, just when your fishing day is going really well, you get out there. If you bring this guy along, you won't have that problem for too long, because within minutes, before he even does his first cast, he will have somehow already wound up with a huge amount of fishing line tangled in his lure, in his reel. I don't know how they always do it, but they do, and then takes quite a while to get it all undone. Not fun. No. Lastly, we have the guy who, even though he's going to a creek and knows he's going to a creek, insists that he has to bring 50-pound braid on a reel, and 50-pound braided line, a 7-foot rod, And just in case that extra, like, great white shark is there, he makes sure that the salmon fillets are the only things he can bring as baits. Because, I mean, the reason they're not catching bigger fish is because they don't have the right bait, obviously. Last but not least, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I don't have a hand motion for that, but just do it, please. And give this video a like, and have a great day. I'm just using both hands. Thank you for watching. Hand Acted Satchel, signing off. I don't know what I'm doing.